Good Tuesday afternoon. This is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. I'm going to try to get through this reasonably quickly, talking about what I think is going to happen with the weather tomorrow. Model data is all over the place, and we're going to be dealing with a mess no matter what here in Madison County. But let's take a look at how I think it's going to play out. Here's a look at the shortwave imagery from College of DuPage Next Lab. And the main thing I want you to see on here is kind of what I'm looking at is we got this high pressure that's back here over the northern plains. That high pressure has been weakening. As that weakens, then it will allow the storm track to come a little farther to the north. And it's going to be really hard to see because most of you are going to be watching on your phones. But there is a boundary right in here between this high pressure and another high pressure that's off to the east. And where that weakest spot is where that low pressure is going to want to track. Right now, that's hanging out down around the Kentucky and Tennessee border, hanging out and running off into West Virginia, which is where that earlier storm is tracking. We need to see where that's going to be tomorrow. The weaker this is, the farther northwest that can come, and that changes how things are going to play out for Madison County because, of course, we're going to be right on the boundary between rain and snow. So all things considered, I still think the GFS is reasonably handling this the best. So that's the one I wanted to show you the progression of. GFS goes every 3 hours, but so this is around 10 o'clock in the morning. This is by 1 p.m. we can see precipitation beginning to move in. By 4 p.m. it'll be knocking on our doorstep, and you can see all these pinks in here. This is going to be freezing rain, maybe a little bit of sleet, but probably freezing rain that will be at our onset. And then you can see by 7 p.m. we've got some freezing rain moving across the area, still lingering by 10 p.m. and then by midnight to 1 a.m. it's getting out of here and we get some backside snow, and then that moves on. I think that is probably the best solution right now based on the way the pressures are acting right now versus model data. The European is way to the northwest, actually brings the low right up through our area and gives us all rain. I don't think that's right, but just keep in mind it is possible. 50 miles one way or the other makes a huge difference between the mix that I think we're going to get and us getting decent snow or us getting all rain. For whatever reason, that's where we always are, and it's where we'll be again. So all things considered, I think I really agree with what the National Weather Service is putting out, and that's 1 to 4 inches of snow back toward Lafayette across central Indiana, north central Indiana, including Madison County, Muncie, Tipton, Noblesville. We could pick up anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to maybe 1/4 of an inch of ice, which is, the closer we get to that 1/4 of an inch, the worse the things are. 1/10 is kind of a pain in the behind, but once we get above 1/10, it starts becoming a problem. And then followed up by anywhere from a dusting to maybe 2 inches of snow, depending on how fast that transition happens and depending on where that low actually tracks. But I really agree with what the National Weather Service has here. Confidence is still pretty low. We're really not going to have a good idea probably until the morning. But I would, again, expect us to go under a winter weather advisory either late today or maybe in the overnight hours. And again, I agree with the National Weather Service with the way they've got this laid out. Again, Madison County picking up 1/10 to maybe 1/4 of an inch of ice. Again, depending on just 1 degree, 1 to 2 degrees, one way or the other makes a big difference in this thing. And then followed up with some backside dusting to maybe 2 inches of snow. So that's the way things look right now. That's what I'm going to go with. And if anything changes, I will certainly update you. And I will try to put some of this out in a graphic forecast as well because, some people have trouble with the videos, especially since you're watching on phone. So this is Micah Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates. As always, if you can support the page, please do so. And thank you very much. Have a great day, and I'll update as needed.